Hey, bricks and mortar retailers, welcome to this week's video. And this week's training is all about how to train retail sales associates. And this is part of my module on how to develop a rock star retail team. Training our retail sales associates are so important. If you haven't already realized it, they will help you run your business, they will help you create leverage, and they will help you increase profits within your store. So it's really, really important that as a bricks and mortar retail business owner, you have some sort of system or strategy in place on how to train your retail sales associates. So that's what we are going to be talking about today. As always, every second Thursday, there is a worksheet associated with this. If you want a copy of the worksheet, just pop the word worksheet below and I will make sure that you get one, or myself or the team will make sure that you get one. And yeah, easy peasy. Let's roll with it. So the big problem that we have as bricks and mortar retailers is we know that we need to train our team members on some level. And the big problem is that we are so busy running around in the day to day of our store, putting out fires, trying to grow the business. And really, we haven't really thought about a way that we could train our retail sales associates. So we know we need to do that, but we've got no system in place. And then, as a consequence of that, we've got team members who are sort of, not really doing everything that they are supposed to be doing on the retail floor. So that means you'll end up having retail staff that possibly aren't selling to the best of their ability because they haven't been trained. We are going to have retail staff that don't interact with our customers the way that we want them to, simply because we've just assumed they know how to interact positively and how to interact with your ideal clients. Hopefully, you know who your ideal clients are. And every ideal client they have a different way of interacting with each other, right? So we need to make sure that we're tailoring our experience for our ideal clients. So that's the big problem that we have. And apart from all the million things that are going on within our stores. And like I mentioned, the cause of this is really nobody's actually taught us how to train our team. Many of us have come from a corporate background. Very few have actually come from retail. And if that's the case, right, like how do we know what to do? And that's why you work with a business coach or a consultant, or you get some outside help. But so that's basically the real cause. Is we can get into a state of analysis paralysis for many of us, not only in running our store, but trying to figure out what's the best way to go about training our team, how to train our retail sales associates. If we get this right, if you get this whole how to train a retail sales associates bit right, it will lead to so many positive effects within your business. The reason that I go through these with my clients, this whole bit about creating a rockstar team and making sure that we have a training program in place for our retail sales associates, is the first thing is it'll give you so much freedom, because once you start to empower your team, you can then start to delegate the menial tasks that you're doing in the day-to-day running of your store. You can free up time for yourself, so you can start doing some fun things like actually working on the business and not in it. Once you start to train your retail sales associates, then not only will you drive profitability, because they will know exactly what products to sell, how to go about selling it. They will know exactly how to deal with your customers, how to interact, how to build connections. All these basic things that as bricks and mortar retailers, business owners, we take for granted because we just assume the retail sales associates on the floor know how to do this. Certainly, there are going to be some retail sales associates with natural talent. And yes, they'll be able to sell and interact positively on the floor. But you're going to get some other people that come in that have their own definitions of what it is to be a good retail sales associate. And the whole idea of training, having a system, having a program, is to make sure that you've got consistent service in your store across the retail floor, and it's according to what you want the business to achieve, according to your vision and mission of your business, which obviously then stems from the vision and the mission and vision that you have for yourself, the retail business owner. yeah, hopefully you have a vision and mission for yourself. Like you know exactly why you're running this business, why you're growing this retail store. If you haven't, make sure you check out some of my other trainings, which will help you sort that out. Okay, so that's what happens if we get it right. So I cannot stress enough how important and amazing it is to have a high performing rock star retail team of sales associates, because it really makes your life so much easier and gives you so much more freedom to do the things that you want and spend more time working on the business. Okay. So that's what happens if we get it right. So here is what we need to do. I am only going to glance through this. Like I said, this is a worksheet. You can have a copy of this worksheet. Just pop the word worksheet up. With my clients, paid clients, I go through this process in a lot more depth, and this is something that we help set up. So if you want something like this, you want to set up a program like this that will help you drive cash flow and profitability, just make sure you get in touch. Maybe comment down below team, and we'll know exactly why we need to reach out to you. So this is what you need to do to ensure, this is what you need to do on how to train retail sales associates within your store. Okay. So the first thing is you need to make sure that you have position KPIs. So important, often overlooked. Many of us bricks and mortar retailers, we have no position descriptions in the first place. So you need to sort that out. I'm working on the level of assumption here, because this is for my clients, that you've already organized a position description for your team members within your store and the different positions within your store. Because once you are clear on what each person needs to do, you can then allow, it makes it easy for you and then eventually your retail manager to then train other people on what they need to do. Also, it sets expectations on what you expect from your retail sales associates, because that just makes it so much easier for you, the retail business owner, and also makes it so much easier for the person that's filling this role. Because when we all want to do really, really well, even sales associates, retail sales associates, we all want to do really, really well. And if we're really clear on what's expected of us and what our job description is, it makes it so much easier for us to do. And that way we can easily, as a bricks and mortar retail business owner, easily drive sales, easily drive profitability, and make it so much easier for our team to do that. So stemming from that, we need to make sure that we have, stemming from position descriptions, we want to make sure that we have key performance indicators. I've spoken at length about key performance indicators. You can watch back the videos I've got. But ultimately, you want to make sure that you have some KPIs for each position within your store. And why is this important when you start to train retail sales associates? Because now that you've got KPIs, it makes it really easy for you to build a training program, which we'll talk about in a moment. But then also it allows you then to ensure that your team members have some quantifiable way of knowing that their training is working for them. So otherwise it just becomes a whole passive experience. And I'm sure you've been to trainings within your own organizations, corporate world, or other retail stores, where really it's just so boring because there's actually no impact on you, nothing measurable. But once you start to have some KPIs, your team members, sales associates know there's going to be some measurable impact thanks to the training. And this is something that you're going to be coming up, that you're going to be helping them achieve, right? Which is key performance indicators. So obviously, well, not obviously, I beg your pardon. There's a whole heap of ways that you need to create KPIs. Like I said, watch my previous videos on that. If you need some help, just reach out. So we need to make sure that we've got position descriptions. Stemming from that, we need to make sure we create some KPIs. The next thing is we need to organize the training. So training needs to happen. It really is a challenge for a lot of bricks and mortar retailers on how to go about organizing the training with the workload that we have. But what I'm going to show you today is just to create a little bit of a system and to plan it out 12 months in advance. We're going to take the time to do that. It just works out so much easier. That way you can just follow the plan and not necessarily forget about it, but then you've got a schedule in mind. And for many of us larger retailers, this is a perfect opportunity to pass this on to your retail manager who can then execute this plan. But the training plan, ideally, you want to come up with together with you and your retail manager as well, based on the requirements of the store. So team training. So let's go into how to put together the KPIs, right? We need to, I'll just gloss over this because this is something I do with my clients. So we need to make sure that we analyze the position description, analyze the what actual work they do, their key responsibilities, come up with some KPIs, and we need to make sure that we have a review process for that. We need to do a review every 6 months. I've also spoken about how to do team reviews. They are so important in engaging your team, so important because your team members, your retail sales associates want to know how they are going within the context of the store, how they're performing. We all love feedback, right? We all want to know how we're doing within the store. So it's really, really important that we have that. If you don't have a review process, please create a review process. It's so important. So we need to review every 6 months. This here is if you're having problems putting together a position description, you can use this template. I'm not going to run through it in any detail. Like I said, this is for my paid clients, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And by going through this process, you can come up with a proper position description for the various roles within your store. So make sure you do that. Okay, so team training, the key here is to understand the whole process, right? And then by breaking it down into little steps, you can then execute. So I've just broken it down here. What we need to do is look at the topics. So important. I would highly suggest that you mix up your team training with a product training and also customer service training. Customer service training, like I previously mentioned, so important because you want to make sure everybody's on the same level, treating your ideal customers in the same way, according to what your mission, vision, and values. The next thing is we need to look at when we're going to be doing this. Set some dates. You'll need to, obviously, many of us have part-time staff. We need to corroborate with the rest of the team and figure out when the best place to do it. Excuse me. Best place, time, day, etc., so on and so forth. Then we need to start planning it out. Planning out what we're going to do, all the logistics behind it. I would highly encourage you to make your team trainings fun. If you're doing it at nighttime, have pizza. If you're doing it in the morning, have cakes. I don't know. But you need to make it really engaging and really, really fun. I'm just going to gloss through that. Obviously, with my clients, I go through it in a lot more detail on how we go about doing that. So that's what we need to do. So this is the training planner. Again, not going to run through it, but if you fill this out, you will have a training plan all done for the next 12 months. And literally, it's just a matter of following all of these things. Just do it step by step. Like I mentioned, break it down to little chunks, follow the worksheets there. Like I said, if you want a copy of the worksheet, just comment the word worksheets in the comment section below and we'll get it out to you. So, and by the end of this, you will have a 12-month plan, a 12-month training plan for your store. Easy as that. And all you need to do is execute. So when it comes to training retail sales associates, that's the plan that we've walked through, how you go about doing it. It really stems from having the position descriptions, the KPIs, and then from there, making sure that we've come up with some sort of plan. And what this will do, this will ensure that you have better communication within your store, better communication within everybody within your store, and that's so important. It's also then going to lead to better clarity, not only for you, the business owner, because now you have a plan, you know exactly what to do, and you know you need to do these position descriptions, get the KPIs, organize the training, but it's also going to give more clarity for your team members because they'll know exactly what to do. They'll know exactly what's expected. They'll know exactly what training is coming up, and they'll know exactly what time to organize to take time off to make sure that they come to the team training. So just it makes for a much better business because you're so much more organized, and it gives them and your managers within your store much better accountability. All of this leads to the fact that you will make more money. The creating a rockstar team and training your retail sales associates just leads to increased profits, increased cash flow, because your team members will now create much better relationships. They'll be more educated. They'll know how to speak, how to sell to your ideal customers, and that's only going to increase your profits. All right, that's the end of this week's training. As I've mentioned so many times, if you want a copy of the worksheet, just pop the word worksheet below. And until next time, we shall catch you later. Thank you.